In the Aufbau section, we have discussed how the electrons will occupy the lower energy orbitals and then move up to the higher energy orbitals. And however, there exists some problem with the Aufbau principle. Certainly, we have know that the electrons will firstly enter into the 1s orbital, then only it will enter into the 2s orbital, because 1s orbital is having the lower end value. So, the energy levels which are having the difference in their energies will be clearly explained by the Aufbau principle. But when it comes to the orbitals present in the sublevels, so yes, sublevel is not having two or more orbitals, it is having only one orbital, so there is no problem with that. But when it comes to p sublevel, d sublevel and f sublevel, they are having different number of orbitals. P is having 3 and d is having 5 orbitals and f is having 7 orbitals. In what way these orbitals should be filled with the electrons? So the answer to this question is explained by Hund's rule. So there are two general rules in the Hund's rule, and what are they? Every orbital in the sublevel is singly occupied before any orbital is doubly occupied. That means the electrons will enter into the orbitals and then fill up all the orbitals with each electron before pairing up with the another electron that is present in the orbital. So in particular sublevel, all the orbitals are in the degenerate state. That means their energy is same. Let us see the example of p sublevel. P sublevel is having three orbitals. They are px, py and pz. All these orbitals are degenerate. That means they are having the same energy. So the electron first enters into px, then it should not pair up with the electron. So the second electron will enter into py and third electron will enter into the pz. Only after filling up of all the orbitals in the sublevel, then the incoming fourth electron will pair up with the electron that is present in the px, and fifth electron will pair up with the electron that is present in the py, and sixth electron will pair up. So likewise, the electrons will be distributed in the different orbitals. And one more thing, all the electrons in the singly occupied orbital should have the same spin, whether they may have the forward spin or backward spin, but all the electrons should be having the same spin. Then only the maximization of the spin could be possible. So it is the p sublevel and the electrons are present in the forward spin, and they may also present in the backward spin. But remind, all the electrons should possess the backward spin. If you are writing the electron in the particular spin, if you want to write the electrons in the backward spin, then write all the electrons in the backward spin only. And if you want to write the electrons in the forward spin, then write all the electrons in the forward spin. Do not write one electron in the backward and one electron in the forward spin. If you write like this, the arrangement would go wrong, because minimization of the spin occurs. So it could not occur, because atom should be stable and maximization of the spin would be the main criteria for the stability of an atom. So all the electrons should possess either the backward spin or the forward spin. Let us take two examples, nitrogen and oxygen, and apply the rules of Aufbau principle and Hund's rule. Let us take nitrogen. The atomic number of nitrogen is 7 and the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. Why 2p? Why not 3s? Earlier we have discussed that n plus l value for these two orbitals are same, that is 3. But the thing comes here, the n value is 2 and here n value is 3. Here it is having lower n value, and that's the reason why all the 3 electrons will present in the 2p orbital but not in the 3s. So Aufbau principle is applied. Then it comes to the Hund's rule, and let us see the structure. That means the electronic configuration structure. 1s, 2s and 2p. It is px, py and pz. So two electrons will pair up in the 1s orbital and two electrons in the 2s orbital. Then the 3 electrons will enter into all the 3 orbitals in the 2p sublevel, because all these 3 orbitals are in the degenerate state. So Hund's rule is also applied. And take another example, oxygen. Atomic number of oxygen is 8 and electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. 1s, 2s, 2p. Here 2 electrons and here also 2, and all the orbitals are singly occupied. Then the incoming 4th electron will enter into the px orbital, so that the electrons are paired up, and here the 2 unpaired electrons will remain as it is. So here also Hund's rule is applied, and you can write the electronic configuration for the different elements by applying the Aufbau principle and Hund's rule. And Pauli's exclusion principle also play a major role in writing the electronic configuration. Before entering into the discussion of Pauli's exclusion principle, we have to maintain a clear idea about 4 different quantum numbers. They are principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. We have earlier discussed in the energy levels about principal quantum number and azimuthal quantum number. But there are 2 more quantum numbers yet to discuss, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. These 2 quantum numbers are at electron level, and principal quantum number and azimuthal quantum number are at the orbital level. So if we have a clear idea about all these 4 quantum numbers, then we can find the easier way of entering into the Pauli's exclusion principle. So if you have any doubts, do mention your doubts in the comment section, and in the next video I will be explaining about 4 different quantum numbers along with Pauli's exclusion principle. And if you like my videos, do follow and share them. Thank you.